Woke up this morning, we never started, and I was alone, another typical day. I know that she loved me, and I know that she'd left me. I know it's been years that I've been feeling this way. Know where I'm going, only where I've been, and I don't want to go that way again. To know where I'm going, only where I've been, gotta find me a way to be a happier man. Gotta find me a way to be a happier man. Hi, I'm Mickey McGuire. This is Mickey McGuire Music. This is a review of the Yamaha LL16D. Now, I get a kick out of that because LL stands for large luxury and the D is deluxe. So this is the LL16D. Now this is technically a jumbo guitar. This is their answer to the J200 and things like that from Yamaha and other makers, Guild, other companies that at one time were making really, really big, boisterous guitars. This guitar puts out quite a bit of sound. Now, what's beautiful about this guitar, it has a really fantastic all solid wood construction. This is Engelmann spruce on the top. It's really beautiful. Has a nice aged kind of look. It's a torrified kind of look. The ARE, I believe, is what they're doing on these guitars. It doesn't say ARE on the inside, but I think it is. Now the 16, not the D, does have the ARE stamp on it on the inside, I believe, these days, but this one doesn't have it on there. Now it is a top line model made in China in an actual Yamaha factory. So the quality control is really fantastic. So this is not a Samick guitar or something like that. It's not a guitar that's made by a third party for Yamaha. It is actually a Yamaha guitar in a Yamaha factory in China. Now I do have the Japanese Yamaha. It's the FGX5 that I actually have, and I did a review of that. So this guitar here, what is nice about it, if someone wants a gloss finish and they want a lot of bling, but it is not really gaudy looking, this is that kind of a guitar. So I'm going to explain. The Engelmann spruce top is beautiful. It's book matched, and this is a really sweet looking guitar finish. The back side of the guitar, this is solid rosewood. There's a maple wood strip that goes down the middle of the back. So it is book matched. And then there's maple binding all around the body. I don't know if you can see that or not right there, but the bridge and the fretboard are ebony. There is an ebony faceplate with the Yamaha logo on the top. The neck is a 5-piece neck that seems to have rosewood in 2 strips, and the rest of it is mahogany. So it's mahogany, rosewood, mahogany, rosewood, mahogany. The frets themselves are pretty nicely dressed up and down the neck. The binding on the neck is plastic. It's not the maple that's on the body. And I've seen a few reviews where people talk about that. There's mixed emotions about it. One thing about the plastic binding is that it is pretty durable, and people tend to bang the necks of their guitars around a little bit. And I'm very, very careful with the guitar, so this thing will probably never end up with a scratch on it. And recently I was playing music with a friend who marveled at the fact that I have pick guards in my guitars without a scratch. It's a technique I learned years ago. I might explain that in detail at some point or another, but it's pretty simple. I just roll my hand away as I come down the strings. I learned that from a bunch of Nashville pickers that I grew up playing music with when I was like 10 to 12 years old. So I was pretty fortunate that way. On this guitar, what I really loved about it is it is boisterous, puts out quite a bit of sound. The guitar has a pickup in it, but it's actually 6 individual piezo pickups underneath the strings. Okay, now if you're going to adjust the bridge on this, which I did the setup on this guitar, so it was a lot higher action than I really wanted, but it's set from the factory so that you can modify things if you want. If you want a high action, you've got it. If you want to lower it, you can do like I did and be very careful and lower the saddle to the height you would like for your string action, but do it little by little and double check it as you go to make sure that the string height is low enough that you have the action where you like it, but you want to make sure that you don't slide the bridge in and out of this. You want to take the bridge pins out, lift the bridge straight up. It's not glued in or anything like that. Most responsible guitar makers don't glue them in. They just set them into place. The strings hold them there. So basically what you want to do is take that off. You want to use a flat file if you're going to lower the action. And little by little you take off the material from the bottom of the saddle. And then that way you get the height of the saddle where you'd really like it. If you don't know what you're doing with it, the setup is really highly recommended so that the guitar plays really nicely and your fingers don't hate you, so to speak. I like lower action, and I've been asked many times the kind of strings that I'm using on the guitars, because the guitars, you're not seeing it so much online right now because this channel hasn't been in existence all that long. And I did have a channel where I did a lot of reviews. I published Ukulele Player magazine for years, and I did guitar reviews and mandolin as well as ukuleles, and I did a lot of setups. Okay, I've done, I don't know, hundreds of setups over the years, but these are the strings of choice right now. These are Martin authentic acoustic strings. I used to use Martin Marquis a lot. These are actually from the low end is 10 thousandths of an inch to 47 thousandths of an inch. Now I've had really great sound out of these, and even on this guitar, which came with 12s originally, everything sounds rich and full and fantastic on this. Nice and even across the strings. I really like that about this. The guitar is very, very well balanced. It has plenty of depth in the bass registers, and you can hear the highs all the way across. Now, what I'll do real quickly here is I'll go ahead and I'll plug in the guitar to a little Fishman Loudbox Mini so you can hear it with the pickup, because this is incredible. One of the reasons I have this guitar is to gig, because it has no battery. Nothing worse than having a battery die on a gig, and on some of these guitars they sound beautiful with like the LR Baggs Hi-Fi, for example, but if the battery dies, you have to go through the strings, basically take a battery pack stuck on the body of the guitar on the inside with Velcro, and then change the battery, put it back in, stick it in place. I had an Eastman that sounded beautiful. One day I'm playing it and all of a sudden the battery pack falls loose because the Velcro wasn't holding very well, and bang, bang, bang on the inside of a guitar kind of killed the performance. I'll be right back. I'm going to plug this in so you can hear it. Okay, I'm back, and again, I'm playing the Yamaha LL16D. The LL, as I said before, stands for large luxury, and D is the deluxe model of this guitar. I have it plugged in now, as you can see. I have a cord plugged in the back. The strap button is a really nice size. It's very small and fits just perfectly for the jack on the back. It's nice and secure, but it is tiny enough that you can put a strap on it without having to worry about the strap coming off on those big strap buttons you see on a lot of guitars, like some of the Ibanez and others, where they're inexpensive guitars, and it looks like the strap could fall off of there any minute. Well, this is not like that. The strap fits really well, it's safe and secure. So if you're a working musician, you don't have to worry about that. So I really like that aspect. Now, there is no strap button up here on the heel of the guitar, and if I'm going to use the strap of this thing, I would probably put a strap button on the heel rather than on the heel plate. I don't like strap buttons being there. That's my personal preference. So if I do put a strap on it, that's what I'll do, is I'll probably put one on the heel very carefully, put it in place. I've done that before with other guitars. Just drill this tiny little hole and go ahead and screw it into place, and you shouldn't have any problem with that. The guitar itself, fit and finish is fantastic. You have Engelmann spruce top, you have a tortoiseshell kind of pickguard on it. There's rosewood back and sides. I've mentioned that already, I believe. And it's trimmed in maple with all this abalone all the way around in the abalone rosette. The fretboard, like I said before, I think is ebony bridge, synthetic, saddle, and nut, ebony faceplate with the Yamaha logo in abalone. The inlays look like some kind of pearloid. They don't look like abalone. Maybe they are, but they don't look like it to me. At any rate, it is now in a Fishman amplifier, so you can hear the guitar. Great sustain, by the way. I'm real impressed with the fit and finish of the guitar. It's absolutely flawless. I don't find any blemishes whatsoever. The Engelmann spruce top is beautifully book matched. It looks fantastic, and the gloss finish is it's a poly finish. Okay, so it's really durable and rugged. If you're looking for a guitar to gig, this guitar is retailing right now, I think, like $11.29 at Sweetwater, and the case comes with it, which is really fantastic at that price. It's a beautiful hard shell case that's made by one of the partner companies that works with Yamaha. Very high quality case. It's not branded like the Yamaha case that comes with the FGX5 that I have, but it fits beautifully. This guitar fits perfectly in it. Now this is, like I said, sort of a jumbo body. Okay, it's a little bit bigger than a Dreadnought. It's a little deeper. That's why this thing has really great sound. And through the Fishman, it's fantastic. Now, I mentioned there's piezo little pickups. Under each string is its own little piezo pickup. So if you're going to adjust the saddle, don't slide it out, because the way these pickups are there, you could damage the pickup. You want to loosen the strings completely, so take out all of the bridge pins, lift the bridge straight up, adjust it on the bottom like you want, put it back in. If you're going to do a setup on it, that's the way you want to do it, so you don't damage any of those little piezo pickups when you slide the bridge back into place. You're just putting it straight down, put the strings to tension, and everything should be great. This guitar is not real common out there. I see a lot of people with the cheaper version of this guitar. Now, I really like the deluxe version, and the first time I saw the LL16D was on the 12-string version. Okay? One of the guys I play music with, a guy named Jim Strait, he came in with that guitar, and we used it on a track we were recording in a project. It sounded fantastic. And I thought, you know what, that's a great guitar. So recently I was looking for a guitar for gigs that I could play gigging and not have to worry about a battery dying. So I knew this guitar had a passive pickup. I was really astounded with how well it sounds, you know, how fantastic. And what's nice, there's no control on this. There's no volume on this. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing inside the sound hole. What you're hearing is an undiluted signal coming straight out of the guitar. This is actually what this guitar sounds like. And when I play it unplugged, it sounds the same as when I play it plugged. What the beauty is about a passive pickup is it picks up the true sound of the guitar without sculpting it, without changing it. So if a maker is confident and they put a passive pickup in their guitar, because they know that guitar is going to sound amazing with that passive pickup, I think it says something about the builder. They have the integrity and they know that that guitar is going to sound amazing when you plug it in. And it does. There's nothing changing the sound of this guitar. What you hear is what you hear when you're playing it acoustically, and when you play it plugged in. It's a clean signal. It's not dressed in any way. There's no bass boost. There's no treble boost. It's just raw signal going straight into that amplifier. And the way the amp is set is just like average sort of settings right now across the board. The bass is a little between 12 and 1 o'clock. The mid-tone is about the same. The highs are a bit lower. They're at about 11 o'clock. And that's pretty much the same setting I use when I plug in my Martin guitar, which I have an OM, so it's going to sound similar to this guitar anyway because it has nice even balance across it, less bass than a Martin D18, D28 would have. But the thing is, this amp is set up for what I use all the time anyway. So to gig with this, I take it just like it is. I plug the guitar in, I go ahead and play. And you can hear from that, that's a little bit of my song Once in a While, and it's so even across the strings, it really sounds great. So again, this is an all solid wood construction, Engelmann spruce top, rosewood back and sides, 5-piece mahogany and rosewood neck, the faceplate, ebony, fretboard ebony, bridge ebony, synthetic nut and saddle. I have 10s on this guitar, so it sounds really great with extra light strings, fantastic voice. This guitar is just amazing. So if you're looking for something, the $1,000 range, it's $1,129 I believe right now at Sweetwater Music, and I do think they have 4 or 5 of them in stock right now. So if you're looking for something to gig, I highly recommend this guitar. It sounds fantastic. Looks great, and get this, there's no battery for the pickup, okay? It's passive pickup. So remember that, passive pickup. There's very few guitars with them, but in this case, what a guitar. Yamaha did a fantastic job. This is the top line model coming out of the Chinese Yamaha factory. It's a dedicated factory that Yamaha built with China to make these guitars and other guitars in their line. Fantastic, Highly recommended. I'm Mickey McGuire, Mickey McGuire Music. Thanks for watching.